Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming. We're going to wait a couple minutes, I think, just for some others to join us, and then we'll get started. As we wait, I just want to make sure, do all of you have a Figma account and you have VS Code downloaded on your computer? If you don't, yeah? Raise your hand. Oh, does that mean you have it?
I downloaded mine yesterday on my computer.
Okay, nice. So it looks like everyone has it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can let me know and I'll send you the links. But it looks like all of you guys got it. Okay. I think we'll start in 2 minutes just to let everyone else join us in case they're lost. Hello to anyone new who joined. We're just going to wait another minute or so for everyone else to join us. And you can just make sure that you have VS Code downloaded on your computer and that you have a Figma account set up. Hello. We are going to wait another minute before starting. To anyone new who joined, just make sure you have VS Code downloaded on your computer and that you made a Figma account on the website. Actually, I think we might have everyone. Suha, was it 9 people in this class?
I think there's like 12 people already.
Yeah, that's just because there's a couple extra accounts in here, me and the admin. So I think there's 9 students. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, Ila. Yeah, we have 10.
Oh, okay. Should we
But
get started now?
you can start, yeah.
Okay. I'll start recording too. Hello. Okay, looks like everyone joined too. So perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming to our workshop. I hope you're having a good March break. I hope you had a good week. My name's Ella. I don't know if I said that already. So we're going to be making a bakery themed website. So we're going to get started with that. And just a couple things to note is that if you guys have a question, you can just click the raise your hand button and then I'll answer. Yep. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I finally was able to download Visual Code.
Okay, nice. And that's another thing to note. We should all have Visual or VS Code, Visual Studio Code downloaded on our computers, and we should have a Figma account made. So I hope everyone has that. If you don't, you can like comment that in the chat or raise your hand and I'll
How
give you
do
the
we
link.
make the website public? Like what
Oh, don't worry about that.
I want to make it public and let other people see it.
Oh, so we haven't started there yet. So we'll talk about our actual website later. Okay.
Oh, so like we're not gonna make it public this time?
We're gonna make a website. We'll get into that after. So let's just all get ready. And I think everyone has everything downloaded since no one said anything. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll go over our plan for what we're gonna do today. So first, we're gonna do a little activity, and then we're gonna create a website prototype with Figma. And if you guys don't know what a prototype is, that's totally okay. We'll go over that. And then we're gonna complete the HTML code, and then we're gonna add the CSS if we have time. I think we'll have time to do CSS too. Okay, and this is the final product of what we're gonna be making. Oops. Here we go. So we're gonna make a website that you can host on your computer. So it'll be actually a live website on your computer, and there'll be clickable links so you can go to different pages. We might only do one page today, and it'll be a task for you guys to create some more pages after, and I'll show you how if that's what you wish. And then yeah, so we can get started with our activity. Okay, so I have a Kahoot. I'll get that going. Okay, so you guys can join the Kahoot at this website. I'll put everything in the chat, or I'll add a share link in the chat if I can. Yeah. Ooh. There we go. I'll put a link in the chat, and then I'll wait for everyone to join before we start. So if you click the link in the chat, it'll just take you straight to the page. So we're waiting on 4 more people to join the Kahoot, and then we'll start it. Okay, nice. I think one person left the meeting, so I guess we'll get started. Okay. Oh, we lost someone. And someone else joined our meet. Do you guys need more time? Does anyone need more time, or should I start it? I'll put the, okay, nice, they're back. I think we're waiting. Oh, yeah, I'll put the link in the chat again, sure. There, so if you click that link, it should take you right to the page. Okay. Is everyone Good? Okay, nice. Let's get started. Okay, this is a coding Kahoot. I assume you guys all know how to play Kahoot. You just answer the question. What language does a computer understand? Spanish, English, code, or keyboard? I think 10 answers. I think there's 10 people in here. Oh, well. Okay, yeah, so a computer understands code. You can write the code in different languages, but the computer itself understands code. Nice. A computer will follow the exact blank that a human gives to it. So you've got to fill in the blank. What makes most sense? What seems like the best answer? Instructions, correct. A computer will follow the instructions that it's given. That's how coding works. Okay, true or false? Computer programmers can make video games, apps, and websites by using computer code. Nice. Okay, everyone got that one right. That is correct. Great job. Computers will do what blank tell them to do. Puppies, humans, printers, cars. What makes most sense? What's the best answer? Okay, nice. It's humans. It's correct because we're the ones giving it that code, right? Great job. Great job. Which sentence best describes computer programming? Nice. Yeah, it's a human telling a computer what to do. Out of all these, that's the best sentence. Because sometimes our code doesn't have to have functions. There we go. Okay, a question. If you could create your own app or website, what kind would it be? Nice. I like all the different answers. A lot of you like gaming. I see. Let's see. Nice. Yay. 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 Great job, guys. You all did really good with that Kahoot. Super good. Okay. Nice. I'll leave the page now. Okay. Thanks for doing the Kahoot, guys. I hope you found that fun. Let's get started. Okay. So the first part, like I said before, we're just going to dive right into it, is Figma. So we're going to create a website prototype, and I'll explain what that is in case you guys are confused. Okay, so what is Figma? So Figma is a powerful design tool that helps you create anything. So you can create websites, apps, logos, and much more. So if I say prototype, it can be described in a couple different ways, but one way to look at a prototype is kind of like a sketch before your website, right? Like, let's think if you were to draw like a really nice painting, you probably wouldn't just go right in with your paintbrushes. You'd maybe first start off with a sketch, right? So a prototype is like a layout, a sketch, a foundation for what you want your website to look like. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to make a prototype with Figma. And the reason we're going to do this is because before we start our coding, we want to actually plan out our design. We want to plan out what our website's going to look like. And there's one main big reason why we want to do this. So let's think about this. So imagine you decide you want to build a website, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to go code my website. Let's just say you code a whole website, the whole thing, and then it's done. And you spent hours on your code. And then you look at it and you're like, I don't like the way it looks. Or if you didn't like the outcome maybe, and you wanted to do a different design. So a way we can avoid this is by making a design first. before we do the coding. Because if you go right in with the coding, you may not end up liking the design, and then you may have to do the coding all over again. So a way to be most efficient when we're doing computer programming and making apps and websites is you can make that design first. It's really helpful in the end, and you'll be really grateful that you did your design first. That way you know what your code's going to look like, so you don't waste any time. Does that make sense? Does anyone have any questions about why we're doing this? No? Okay, let's get started. So Figma is just a website. So you guys can go search up Figma on the internet. And then I believe all of you made an account already. So you can just click this right here. And then you can let that load up. Okay, so I'm already logged into my account, but if I had logged out, I'll show you how to log in. Let me log out. So it'll look something like this when you get to this page, and then you can just go right here and you can click log in. Okay, I'm going to continue with Google because I made my account with Google. So I can just click my name and it'll take me right into the website. So my computer's being a little slow. I'll just wait for that to load up. And then I'll give you guys a second to maybe get to this page before I show what to do.
It says
So
team
that
name.
we can all be on the same page.
It says team name. Do I have to? Why does it say team name?
Did you just log in?
Yeah.
You can just put your name for team name if it asks you something, but you shouldn't have to worry about that. You should just try to get to the page I'm at right here.
Okay, so yeah, I'm on that page. Now what do I do?
Okay, yeah, let's just all give everyone a second to get to this page, turn our mics off, and then I'll keep going. Okay, so what we're gonna wanna do, guys, is we're gonna create a new design file. So right here, it says new design file. And then here it says underneath design and prototype. That's exactly what we wanna do. So we're gonna open this up. Here we go. Okay, so this is it. When you get to the page, you'll see nothing because we haven't actually added anything. What you can do is you can first start off and you can rename your project. So we're gonna call ours bakery website or bakery website design. Yep, someone raised their hand, they can ask their question.
So does it have to be a bakery?
Well, just because we're all following along with me, we're gonna do a bakery one. So if maybe after class, if you decide you don't like the theme of it, since you'll already have all the code done, you can just change the theme later.
Yeah. So So what do we do now? So we have to make a new file.
Let's just follow.
How do I make a new file because it doesn't work?
Let's go back a step.
Okay, so I have to go.
So why don't we just turn our mics off and follow along again? How about that? Thanks. Okay, so when we're on this page again, this home page here, we click new design file right here. Everyone should be able to see this. If you can't, you can click the raise your hand button. Okay, I think everyone's good. So then we'll just click on that and then it'll take us here. There's an empty page here. There's nothing on the screen really because we haven't done anything yet. So what we're gonna first start off by doing is we're gonna rename our project. The way we do that is right at the top here. If you guys see where my mouse is hovering, right at the top here, it says drafts and then it says untitled. It says untitled because we want to name our project, like if you were just to rename any project. So you click the down button and then it says rename. So we click the down arrow and then it says rename. So then we click that and then we enter the new name. So I'm going to call it bakery website design. Okay. And I want you guys to follow along with what I'm doing as closely as possible, because if we run into any issues with our code or anything or our design, we want to make sure that we're all doing the same thing. And then after this workshop, if you guys want to make your own changes, add your own fun spice to it, that's totally fine. You can totally do that. Some things that you can play around with if you want to, like the color, that's definitely okay. And I'll just talk through what you guys can customize yourselves as we go along, okay? So right now, you guys probably all see just this blank site right here. It's blank because we didn't add anything. So on Figma, don't follow along with this part. You can add shapes, like if I wanted to add a rectangle, we can make a rectangle. If I wanted to add a circle, I can make a circle. And I'm doing that right here from this shape button here. Shape tools. If we hover down, it says what it is. So it says shape tools on my computer. We can make arrows. Figma is super cool for design. We can make stars, anything super cool. But we don't want to do that today. I'll tell you exactly what we want to do today. We want to make a frame. And by frame, that's basically just like a background. So that's what we want to do, because we want to create a background for our website, right? We want to create that frame that everything's going to go on. So I have a little explanation here, but I'll just show you myself. It'll probably be easier. So if you see right here at the top, there's these, if you see where my mouse is hovering, there's this crisscross shape right here. And if you click the down arrow, it'll say frame, okay? So again, you can see on this slide, it's a little zoomed in. You can see there's these lines, kind of makes a square, and then it says frame when you click down, okay? And then once we're at this page, we want to go on the side here, right? After we clicked frame. And we should see here, it says phone right at the top. We don't want to create something for a phone. We want to create something for a desktop computer. So we're going to click down where it says desktop, okay? And you guys can choose any one of these backgrounds. There's like a 14-inch computer, a 16-inch computer, a desktop, an iMac. Desktop usually works best. It's the most transferable. So I'll just say desktop. It's big, fills my whole screen, pretty nice, okay? So we can see it's a desktop one right there, okay? So does anyone want me to go over that again, or did you all get that?
Can you redo it again, because I'm kind of confused.
Yep.
How about, is there a laptop option?
You can click MacBook then, or just everyone click desktop then. Okay, so
Yeah, if
I'll
I'm
go
on
over
desktop,
again.
then what do I do next?
When you click on desktop over here, you have to click one of these options here again. So if you're on a laptop, maybe you can put MacBook Pro 14 or 16-inch, or you can put desktop. I'm just going to put desktop. You can put whichever one you want. Just click any one of them. It'll work. And you get this frame. That's it. Okay. You can turn your mics off.
I accidentally
Okay.
put two frames.
Just delete one of them. Okay.
Looks like every time when I click on it, it doesn't work. It says copy paste.
So on the side here, you should see all the different frames you had in. So you can just delete it so that there's only one here. Okay?
Okay.
Thanks. Okay. So let's keep going. If you guys hear a noise in the background, it's because my dog is barking. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is change the color of our background. So the way we change the color of our background is we click on our square right here, and then we'll see here, it says design. Right at the top, it says design right here, if you guys follow along with where my mouse is hovering. So here where it says design, you're going to want to go down to where it says fill. And here we're going to get this nice color wheel. We can change the color. You guys can do any background color you want. It doesn't matter to me. Choose any color you want. I'm going to do a blue one. And then I'll like choose the selection of blue that I want. Here we go. Okay, so then I have my nice background here. So you guys can do that. Yep, do we have a question?
Yeah, it's me. If you zoom in and out, you think the sidebar will get bigger, a little bit bigger? Just a suggestion. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool. Okay, let me. That's a little big.
Yeah, much better.
Okay, nice. I'm gonna make my frame a little smaller then. Don't follow along with what I'm doing right now, guys. I'm just doing a smaller frame so that I'll be able to see it as I'm zoomed in. There we go. Okay, and then I'll choose my color again. Okay, nice. Everyone should have their color. I suspect the background. Again, under design, you just hit fill right here. You can do any color you want. Yeah, that's really easy to change. So do any color you want. Okay, and I guess we'll keep going. Okay, nice. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add some text, okay? So if we look back to our original design, I'll keep clicking the back button here. We got a little bit of way to go. Okay, yeah, so we have a bunch of text here. So what we're now gonna go in and do is we're gonna start adding some text. So we'll add 1, 2, 3, 4 text boxes here. We'll add a text for our title. We'll add some text for our subtitles, and then we'll add some text for our top selling items, a list there. So let's go ahead and do that. So the way we add text is really easy. There's this T button right here where my mouse is hovering over. It says text, pretty easy. And the way you do it is you just drag like this. You see I just dragged in some text there. Pretty sweet, right? So we can go, or I'll go back and I'll see what we're gonna write in. So we're gonna write in some headings for our website. So I'll write the word home right here. And it's really small. You guys probably can't even see it. So what we gotta do is we gotta change the text size. So the way you do that is you select the text, and then down here over in text, there's size. So we're just gonna bump that up. We're gonna make it bigger. 24 is still not big enough. Oops, that's too big. So what you guys can basically do is you can just click on the different text sizes and see what looks the most right to you. I'm thinking this looks good for me. Okay. What do you guys think? You guys might have different font numbers there depending on how big you made your frame, but I think that looks good. Okay, and then we're gonna add a couple more text boxes for our header. So I'll go over again what we're doing. So we'll see there's a couple more. There's items, store history, and contact us. Okay, so I'll go ahead, I'll drag open another text box, and I totally forget what it was. Items, okay, so I'll write out items. Nice, and it keeps going with the same font size, which is really nice. And we can even center our text boxes. If you drag them around, you'll see these red lines appear on the screen, and that's so that we know everything's in the same line, basically. See, they're perfectly in line with each other. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I can even make the text box smaller so that there's not all this extra space. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, I'll keep going. I'll make another one. I think the next one was our history. I'll keep going. And we can even just copy and paste them. So if I on my keyboard go Control-C and then I go Control-V, one appeared right on top. So if I
How do I
drag it
change the
over,
font?
you change the font. I'll go over that in a second. And let's make sure we're clicking the raise our hand button before we ask our questions.
I could
Thanks.
like it was like 0.01 in size.
Oh, the font size?
Yes.
So I already went over that. So what you do is you double click on the text, and then down here under text, you'll see a number, and that's where you change it. You can just click any of these, and then you can see how big it is or how small. Here we go. Okay, and this one I copy and pasted, so I have to change the text. I think it's contact us. Okay, pretty nice, pretty nice. Looks good to me. Okay, I can center them, make sure they're all even, because this is how I'm going to want my website to look. Looks pretty good to me, looks pretty good to me. And then let's go back and check. We can also go ahead and we can change our text here, or the text color. So what we can do if we want to change the color of multiple things is I can click on one thing, and then I can hit shift, and I can click on everything. And then now everything's selected, okay? And what I'm able to do is I'm able to go here where it says fill, and I can change the color of everything, okay? Maybe I'll do like a dark blue. Pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay, is everyone good? You can click the raise your hand button if you have questions. Otherwise, we'll keep going. Okay, so we already know what we want our website to look like because I already did a little sketch here of it. But if we didn't know what we wanted our website to look like, Figma would be super useful because we'd be actually planning out how we want everything to look. We're like kind of planning out how we want everything to look for ourselves and getting you guys to go through it. I'm showing you how to do it yourself. Okay, so let's keep going. So we're going to create some more text boxes. I'll make a bigger one here. This one's going to be the title. So yeah, I can slow down. So the next thing we're going to do after we made some text for our header is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our title. Okay, so the way we do that is we click on the T for text again. We drag another text box. I'm going to make this one bigger because our title is going to be bigger. Maybe I'll make it like this. Okay, so I'm going to put my name. I'm going to put Ella's. Obviously, you guys don't have to put you don't have to put my name. You can put your own name. So I'm going to put Ella's Bakery Shop. We'll say that's the name of the shop that we're making a website for, okay? So I already made the text here and I want it to be bigger. So we went over how we make our font size bigger or smaller. We select it. So I dragged over it and I'm going to go back down here where there's size, this number here, and I'll make that bigger. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe I'll even make it bigger. Actually, I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty good. So I'll give you guys a second to do that. Maybe I'll drag it down. Pretty nice.
How do I change the font color?
Okay, let's make sure we're raising our hands before we ask questions. So how do we change the font color? Yeah, so I went over this. What you do is you click on the text here. You click on it so it's all highlighted, and then you scroll down on the side here. There should be something that says fill, and then fill is how we change the color. I'm going to keep mine white though. There we go. Okay, I'll give you guys a second. That. Okay, the next thing we're going to go over is how to change. Yep, do you have another question?
Yeah, how do we align like home, items, our history, and contact us? Because it's like a time mess.
You just click on them and then you can drag it up and down and you'll see these red lines, and those are to guide you, to help you align them, like I said. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, guys. And if you're falling behind, don't worry. Just try your best to keep up. Yep, do we have another question?
Yeah, sorry. How did you say we changed the font color again?
The font color, so you click on it, you can select it, and then under fill. Again, that's under fill. And then you'll see a little white square there. You click on that and you'll get your pop-up here.
Thanks.
No problem. Okay, guys, so make sure everyone's listening right now because I'm going to go over how we change the font type, okay? So the font type. So what you do, you can follow along. You click on it. You click on what you're changing. The font style is now what we're going to change. So I have it clicked on. And let's just say I wanted this to be bold. Do you see where it says regular right here? And click the drop down. And I can click bold. Okay. So now it really looks like a title. Okay. And then we can also change the style. So you see where it says Roberto right here? However you say that, Roboto. You click on that. And then we're going to get all these weird names. These are the font names. So if I click on a random one, you'll see it looks a little different there. Every font style looks a little different. I'm going to do Times New Roman. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll and I'm going to search for the T for Times New Roman. There we go. Here we go. And I have a nice little fancy font there. And I can again make that bold. Looks pretty nice. So what I did to make the font style look like this is under text here, right at the top where I'm hovering my mouse. I'm hovering my mouse right now so you guys can see. There's a word there. It's going to be different depending on whatever your font is. So you click on it. Mine says Times New Roman. And then you get all these fonts. So you can test out the different fonts. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna do Times New Roman, but there are a bunch of lots of them we can do. Okay. I can even make mine bigger. And then to bold it, where it says regular, you can click the down button and then make it bold. Just like this, okay? So I'll give you guys a second for that. Yep, we have someone raising their hand. You can ask your question.
Sorry, but what is your font color called?
Mine's just white, or this one up here. Are you talking about this one?
No, the one for Ella's Bakery Shop.
The font style, like
Oh
the
yeah,
name of it?
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's called Times New Roman. So you can see I'm under T right now. So you just have to scroll down, find the T's, and then you'll keep scrolling until you see it.
Okay.
They go in alphabetical order. So Times New Roman is right here. There we
Okay.
go.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, I'll give you guys another second for that. And every other step we've done before, creating these texts here, it's the same as up here. So I'm going to say this website is about Ella's Bakery Shop. Click on any link above to learn more about our shop. Seems pretty easy. So I'll create some more text boxes. Okay, all right. This website is about Ella's Bakery Shop. Okay, I'll capitalize the B. That's not letting me. Okay, and I'll make it bigger. I'll drag it out like that. Why isn't it letting me edit it? Oh, here we go. Okay, and right now this new line I just added. It's in our title font and our title color. We don't want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring everything back down. So I'm gonna bring the size back down. So I'll click on the number here and I'll make it littler, just like that. That looks pretty good. I'll maybe change the color. So I'll go under fill. Fill is how we change the color. I'll give it a funky color, maybe a red or maybe a purple. That looks pretty cool. Okay, and then I'm also going to change the type of font. I'm going to change the type because this one's Times New Roman, right? But I want our subtitles, our subheadings, to be in the same font as this one. So this one's Roberto. So I'm going to try to find that one again. So I'll go back up to R. And I'll see him in the RO section. And I'll search for it right here. Here we go. And I'll unbold it. I want it to just be regular. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And I don't know if I like this font color. I'll change it a little. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And because I know I like this font size, I like the color, I like how the text looks, what I'm just going to do now is I'm just going to copy and paste. So I'm going to go, I can right click and I can go copy right here. And then I can right click again where I want it to go and I can go paste here. Then I'm just going to click allow. It popped all the way up here. Okay. So I'm using my red lines to help me see where I want this to go because I want them to be all nice in line. So I see my red line is telling me, okay, this is a good spot. So I'll go back and see what the text was. Click on any link above to learn more about our shop. Pretty nice. So I'll write that in. Click on any link above to learn more about our shop. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Okay. And I'm just going to keep copy and pasting so that I can have similar font down here. Okay, so I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it down here. I'll go paste here. Perfect. Okay, we'll see what it was. It says our top selling items. Pretty nice. Our top selling items. Okay. And if I hit the return button on my keyboard, or sorry, the enter button, whatever it's called on your keyboard, it's either called an enter or return button. I can go down in spaces like this. I can go down in spaces like this, which is exactly what I want because I want this to be a nice block of text. I'm also going to click on it so I see this, the square or the rectangle outline, and I'm going to make it bigger. This is changing how big the box is going to be. Okay, that's changing how big the box is going to be. I'd see the arrows, they're pointing in the direction that we're gonna go, like that. So you can drag the corners to make them bigger or smaller. So I'll make this super big just because I want to be able to add some stuff down here. Is that good?
Thank you.
No problem. So I want our next line to be on a new line, right? So I'm gonna click enter. I'm gonna click the return button. And then I'm gonna click number 1. I'm gonna type because we're making a list now, right? So I'll put our top selling items. I'll just make them up. So I think I said like oatmeal cookies. We can just make up things that we sell at our shop. Oatmeal cookies, maybe apple pie. Maybe apple pie is a big seller. Okay, and I'm just clicking the return button on my keyboard and it's continuing making these numbers for me like a list. Okay, return or enter, whichever. It says different things on different people's keyboards sometimes. Okay, and then my third item, I'll put chocolate cake. Oops, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And I can even make my text box smaller because I see I just need it to fit to this. So I'll click on the corner and I'll drag it in. Pretty nice. And I can even drag this down. Okay, pretty nice. I'll give you guys a second to do that and then we'll keep going. I can maybe even recenter things. If you click on something, you're able to change the position of where it is. Click on it, drag it up. Pretty nice. Okay. So I'm going to fast forward in these slides because I went pretty far back. And then let's see what we are at next. Nice. Okay. So this is basically where we are. I'll give you guys like a minute or so to make sure you got everything. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a picture. So I put the picture on Google Drive that you guys have to download. So let me drop that in the chat for you guys. Okay, so I'll show you guys what to do now. Okay, so I just put a link in the chat. So what we're all gonna wanna do is we're gonna wanna download this picture, okay? We're gonna wanna download this picture. So if you open up the link in the chat, you should see this picture, okay? So what we're gonna do is if you haven't downloaded anything from Google Drive before, you click this button here. So I want everyone to get to this page and you can hover over this download button right here. It's the down pointing arrow and then there's like a line under it. So this is how we're gonna download it. Okay, so I'll give you guys a second, open up the link in the chat and click this download button. And it's downloading onto my computer. Pretty nice. And if I double click on it, it'll open it up on my computer. I see my picture because I downloaded it. Okay, so I'll give you guys a second to download your picture. do you have a question?
Yes. So I clicked the download button, and now how do I add it to my shop?
Yep, I'll show you in just a second. I was just giving everyone time to download. But yeah, I'll show that now. So you guys should all have downloads on your computer somewhere. I think all on your own, you guys should be able to figure out where the downloads go on your computer. You probably have a file explorer or some sort of finder on your computer where you can see your most recently downloaded images, okay? So, I'm like clicking on everything. Oops. What is going on? Oops, I accidentally clicked on a different file. Okay, so what we're gonna do is on Figma, just like this, the way we add a picture is really easy. So I think it says on the slides if we want to keep looking at the slides. No, I did it the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's add the picture. So the way we can add a picture to Figma is really easy. I'm just making my tab smaller so you guys can all see. But literally all you have to do is you can just find that file on your computer and you can just drag and drop it onto the Figma like this. And then it'll appear. That's all. So you can just have your like Explorer or Downloads Finder, however your downloads are stored on your computer. You can have that open on one tab, and then you can just drag the picture in to the Figma screen on top and then drop it, okay? And then once we get here, you guys can resize it the same way we normally would. So you can click that corner button, or actually make sure you guys are hitting Shift on your keyboard when you're resizing this. So click the Shift button on your keyboard and then also drag the size down. Make sure you're holding onto the Shift button or else this will happen. Weird stuff, which we don't want to happen. If you want to undo anything, you can go Control Z on your computer. There we go. So I'm back to original. So I'm hitting the Shift button on my computer and I'm dragging the size of this. So I'm going to make it small. And I can change my sizing of everything else. Okay, does anyone have a question about the downloading there? Did they need help or is everyone good? You can raise your hand button if you have a question. Okay, so then I assume everyone downloaded their picture and dropped it onto their Figma file. Again, if you want to change the size, hit the Shift button and then drag the corner. Pretty easy. So you can make whatever size you want. Oops. And then if you do something that you don't want to do, like this, you can either go to the top of your screen and click Edit, Undo. That should work. Maybe it doesn't work. The easiest thing you can do is on your keyboard, click Control Z, and it'll take it back to whatever it was before. That's the undo button on our keyboard, Control Z. Or if you're on a Mac, it's Command Z. Yeah. Okay, so do we have a question? Yep.
Do I have to put it the same place you put yours?
Yeah, somewhere around this area is best, just so that your code also reflects this. Just because the code we're writing is going to be for like this type of format. If you guys want to change the text slightly, that's totally fine. Just make sure it's one line, everything, and has the same type of layout. One more thing, if you guys see here, this is what it's supposed to look like, our prototype there. So it's kind of just a sketch of what our website's going to look like. Pictures have rounded edges. So that's called a border radius, or that's what we're changing, is we're changing the border. So what we can do is you click on the picture, and if you go over here, see in design here, and then you'll see this thing that's 0, and there's kind of like a rounded edge there. If you hover over it, it says corner radius. So if I click on this and I type in 20, it rounded the edges of my picture. Pretty nice, eh? So that's all we want to do. And then we are done our Figma prototype. Pretty nice. Yep, do you have a question?
Yeah, I forgot. Like, I didn't quite understand how you rounded it.
Yeah, so you click on the picture, and you should see something here, right where I'm hovering my mouse. You should have the same thing on your screen. It's kind of like a little edge there they have. And if you click on it, just change the number to 20. And you can see that the bigger you change your number, like I made this 80, the more circular it gets. So if I make it 100, it's almost a circle, not quite, but we don't want it like that. Oh no, I accidentally deleted it. We don't want it like that. We want it just like 20. We just want a little bit of rounded edge like that. So it looks very nice, doesn't it? So that's enough with our Figma. If you guys didn't finish your Figma, that's fine. We're gonna keep going with the coding. So the whole point of us going over that Figma was that that's what you guys should be doing if you're ever planning on making your own websites. It's not very good to just go in and start coding, especially if you're creating a big project, because then you can get super confused and you might end up coding a bunch of stuff and then be like, oh, I don't actually like this design. And then you have to code all over again. So it'll save you a lot of time if you start off with Figma or a different design platform to make sure you know what you want the website to look like. Okay? So now we're going to do HTML. This is my favorite part. I'm excited. It's the coding time. Okay, so what is HTML? What is HTML? So it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language, but everyone just calls it HTML. That's all you guys got to worry about. It's called HTML. So it's the code that we're going to use to structure our web page and its contents. So HTML is the language that we can use to code our website. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Okay, so let's go open our Visual Studio Code. So I want everyone to get open Visual Studio Code on their computer. Should look like this. I'll give you guys a second. So I'll give you guys another second to open up Visual Studio Code. Once you have it open, you should see something on the screen that says open. Let me see if I can make my font bigger on this while I wait for you guys to open that. Here we go. Okay, yeah, I think my font's now bigger. You guys just won't be able to see until I type. That's fine. Yep, do we have a question?
Mine is open, but it doesn't look like yours.
It's okay. As long as you see an open button, that's fine. So I think everyone. Oh, let's just wait. So we'll start with the first person who raised their hand. You can ask your question.
It's Sumaya. Sumaya, go ahead.
Yeah, mine doesn't look like yours either. It says like learn the fundamentals and stuff, and it has a bunch of things that if I click on them, I think they'll check mark. So like what do I do?
So if it says learn the fundamentals, it might just be like a starting page. So what you can do is you can just keep clicking the checks, and then eventually you should see some sort of open button. Once you see that open,
there's a button that says next section.
Yeah, keep clicking that.
Sorry. Ila, can we allow one of the students share their screen? Because I think all the students will have the same screen because it's their first time.
Do you want to share your screen then?
Okay.
Thanks. So you click so if you go to the Google Meet, you'll see a square with an up arrow. I'll stop presenting. So if you see a square with an up arrow, you can click present a window or your entire screen and then click open the Visual Studio Code. Are you able to share your screen?
Maybe
yeah, here. This is what it looks like.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I think if you just click the X at the top, or no, you're actually fine. Okay, so follow along with me. Everyone else follow along too. So do you see on the left side of the screen, on the left at the top, there's like a little square? Do you want to hover over that?
This?
At the, on the left, other side of the screen.
Oh, yeah. This?
Click that, yeah. Okay, yeah, is everyone able to get to that? Because that's all we need. Okay, nice. Okay, I think everyone should be able to get to this. So we're good. You can stop sharing, thanks. I just wanted to make sure everyone can see that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I'll share my screen again. Okay, yeah, so sorry about the confusion, guys. If you just downloaded it, if you want to get to the screen that I'm at, you just have to keep clicking next section. That's what some people are saying in the chat, but we don't even need to worry about that. What we're going to do is right here at the top, we'll see like two rectangle type of shapes. Okay, and then we'll see something here that says open folder. Okay, so we're going to click open folder. And it'll take us to your download section on your computer or wherever you store your project. So what we're going to do is we're going to click new folder, and I'm going to call it bakery website. So this is where we're going to store all our code. So, I already made one called bakery website. Okay, so I'm going to do bakery_website. That should do it. Okay, so call your project bakery website, make sure it makes sense to what we're doing, and then you can click create. Okay, so I clicked new folder. Layal, I think your hand was up first. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Do you want to ask your question?
Can you repeat the directions again for this part?
Yeah, for sure. So you click the open folder button. So I clicked on here. Up here at the top, do you see where my mouse is hovering, guys? I clicked right here, these two squares. When I hover over it, it says Explorer. Okay? This right here. And then you click open folder. I want everyone to click open folder. And then you should get this pop-up on your screen. This is where you store your files on your computer. Okay? And then what you guys are going to click is you're going to click new folder. Yours might look a little different than mine. If you have a different computer, that's completely fine. Just make sure you're clicking new folder, and then you can name it. So I'm going to call it bakery website. I already just made a folder called this, so I'll call mine bakery website 1 or 2 because I already did this. But you guys just call yours bakery website, okay? Maybe I'll do capital bakery website 2. Okay. Is everyone good? And then you can click create. And then it'll make it on your computer. And then you click it, and then you click open. And then it'll load up. And then you'll have something like this. So I'll give Coin, do you have a question?
So like yesterday I did it, and like when I went on the files, like I was able to make every time I save, I could go on Google and find my file there.
We just want to follow along with what I'm doing now. So were you able to complete the steps I've gotten to?
Like I already did the whole thing.
Okay, nice. Then you're good. Okay, does anyone else have a question? Okay, Crunchy Cat.
I don't know how to make a new folder.
Did you see a pop-up on when you click this? Or
yeah, but I don't.
You didn't see anything that said new folder?
No.
Okay. Then what you can do is do you know where you store files on your computer?
Yeah.
Like this. Let me open it up. So you can go to wherever you store files on your computer, and then you can make a new folder there. So you just make a new folder wherever you store files, and then you can call it whatever you want. So I'll call it Ella_bakery_website. And then if you guys can't make the file from Visual Studio, so just make it on your computer, make a new folder, and then this time, let me show you what to do then. Open new, oops, wrong thing. Let me close that old one. And then this time, if you should already have that folder somewhere on your computer. So you click open folder, and then you just find the folder that you created. So I see Ella Bakery website. Okay. Yeah. I just don't want to butcher your name.
It's
Sorry.
Sumaya.
Yeah. Okay.
When I go to the thing, it says, "Do you trust the authors of
Yes.
file?" So I say yes, right?
Yeah, because it's a good file. Okay. Do we have another question, Mustafa?
Like when you
Hello?
after you make the baker, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
After you make the bakery website thing, how do you open it?
How do we open it? Okay, I'll go over that again. Let's follow along. So you should have Visual Studio Code open. Mine's opening up again. Okay, you see these rectangles here? You click that, you click open folder. Okay, and you find it on your computer, wherever it went. Mine's right here. I see them. If you don't find it, you can search for it. There's a search bar usually on your computer. You should be able to find it there. But if not, you click on it, and then I double clicked on mine and it opened, but you should just click on it once and then click open. Okay, another question. Yeah, if you have your hand up, you can ask your question.
My thing won't get into processor. I don't know how to download it from
Processor? Processor?
Yeah, I don't know how to get it in.
What's processor? What are you referring to?
Oh,
Like the
the
Visual Studio Code thing.
Oh, you didn't download it?
No, I did download it, but I don't know how to get the Fig website into it.
Oh, we don't want to get the Figma website into it. That was just for us so we could see our prototype, so we know what we're going to code.
Okay.
Oh wait, how do I add a new file again?
Okay, so let's all take a step back. So we all should have our folder open. That was our first step. So now there's a folder on our computer called something bakery website, something along those lines. So next step, what we're going to do is we're going to create some files, okay? So right here, it's a little small. I don't think I can zoom in on this. No. So if you see where my mouse is hovering, you should see a little square with a plus on it. This is to create a new file. If I hover over it, you'll see it says new file. So then it creates this line here. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create an index file. So this is going to be the main file on all our code. So it's going to be called index.html. So you're going to make a file called index.html, and then we're going to click enter. Okay, so opened up this file. Okay, and we're going to create another file after that. So I'll show again how to make a file. Make sure you're following along. You click on the square here, and there's a little plus next to it. And then, so now there's a line here for me to type. I'm going to type styles.css. Okay, so I'll write in the names in the chat if my font in my computer is too small. I'll write in the chat styles.css, index.html. Those are the names of the two files. So we now should have two empty files, okay? So if we go back and if we check out the slides here, this is exactly what we needed, except for there's one more thing. We want to add our picture. We want to add our picture into this folder. So what we're going to do is I'm going to open back up my Visual Studio Code. Yeah, Coin, do you have a question?
I'm very confused at what you did. Like, I don't understand.
So I made two files. These are files.
But how did you get the Bella Bakery website?
That's the folder. We opened up the folder.
Wait, how do you make a folder if I made like files?
No, we just made a folder. That's what we've been working on doing. So
My
we're going to
folder's
keep going.
VS Code. My folder is .vs code.
So you open up that folder inside VS Code. We're gonna keep going with the project because we went over that, and you can follow along if you're
I have a
behind.
question. Do we have to make a folder?
Yeah, we have to make a folder inside VS Code. So you have to be able to open up the folder. Okay, just try to follow along your best. Okay, we have another question. Crunchy Cat.
So how do I add the file to the website?
The file, the picture?
No.
Or these two files we made?
So like, you know how you created a new file called like a bakery website?
So I did not create a file, guys, called bakery website. I created a folder. This is a folder. We've been going over how to make a folder. So I made a folder called Ella Bakery Website, okay? And then inside here, I'm making some files. So I clicked on my folder. I'm inside my folder called Ella Bakery Website. And we haven't made our website yet. We still have to code it. So what I did was I clicked this plus button to make my files. I clicked this plus button to make my files. So I made a file called index.html and styles.html. Mustafa, do you have another question?
Yeah. Is it okay if you accidentally make a file, like another file?
So you have to make sure you have two files called index.html and styles.css. That's all that matters. Just as long as you have those two, you're good.
Okay.
And if you want to delete one, you just click on it and then you right click and then you hit delete. Okay? So guys, one more thing we have to do is we have to make sure our picture's in this folder. So what we're going to do is I'm going to make this a little smaller. I'm going to make this a little smaller. I got a couple tabs open here. Just ignore that tab there. And then I'm going to open up my files here on my computer. Okay? And the same way on Figma, remember when we clicked on a picture and we dragged and dropped it? That's what we're going to do now, but inside VS Code. So we're going to click on our picture here, and we're going to drag and drop it inside here. Okay? So I clicked on my picture, and I dragged and dropped. So now inside my folder, I have bakery. I have the bakery picture. I have two empty files, one called index.html and one called style.css. Someone said, how do I open up my files? Well, we don't have anything inside our files right now, but you open them up by just clicking on them. That's it. But you can see there's nothing in them. So they're empty files. But here, right here where I'm hovering on my computer, you guys can see all the files. Okay? So let's get started with the HTML. How do you open up your downloads? Well, you should be able to find that just on your computer. So wherever you store your pictures and your applications on your computer should be a folder, or sorry, an application. Just like how you drag the picture into Figma. Find it wherever you put it there. So I see mine's here in my downloads. I click on my downloads, I see my pictures and everything are here. Okay, so let's keep going. So we're gonna add the following HTML code inside our file that's index.html. Yeah, Leal, do you have a question?
Yes. Are we adding the bakery photo into one of our files?
No, we're adding the bakery photo inside our folder.
Sorry, I mixed them up.
Yeah, inside the folder.
Which one? The index.html or styles?
So those are files that we created. We created two files, index.html and styles.css. Okay, those are inside our folder. Our folder is called bakery website. We are putting our picture inside the folder. Okay, so if you guys are having trouble or behind, just try to follow along your best. Let's just keep going with the code, and then we'll ask some questions later if we have time. But I want you guys to just keep following along, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna copy and paste some code into our index.html file. So this is the base. This is going to be the base, okay? So I'm going to go in the chat and I'm going to put some code. Okay? So I want you guys to copy the whole message I just sent. So I want you guys to go in the chat and I want you to copy the whole message I just sent. Okay? I want you to comment copy the whole message. Okay? So you should go in the chat and copy the message. Once you do that, you're going to open up that index.html file. Index.html file. Okay? And you're going to, right here on line 1, you're going to right click and you're going to hit paste. And then all the code will be inside here. Okay? And you're going to want to make sure that you put it inside the index.html file. Okay? So I can see on the side, I'm clicked on my index.html file and I put my code in here. Okay? And again, I made these files inside of the folder. The folder is called Ella's Bakery website. And inside the folder is everything that we're going to need. So I put my picture inside the folder. I put my index.html file inside the folder with all the code I just copied in there. And then I have my styles.css folder, which is still empty. Okay? So let's get started. So inside this index.html folder, we have a bunch of these things here. You guys are probably like, what are these with these arrows here? These are called tags, okay? They're called tags or they're called elements. So this is how we code in HTML. So I'll give a little nice explanation on what everything is. Oops, okay. Let me make my screen big and we'll go through everything. Okay, so HTML tags are how we code with HTML. Our whole file is going to end up being composed of tags, okay? And tags are the things with these arrows on the end, okay? So if we look at our code, we'll see something here that says doc type HTML. What that means is it's saying that, okay, this is going to be an HTML document. We always have to have that at the beginning of our HTML files, okay? And then we see something that says head, and this holds all the data. So we don't have to worry about this. We don't have to worry about this, okay? And inside this one right here, inside this, we'll see something that says title, okay? And here it says blank page. We can change the title here to bakery website, okay? So I changed the title to bakery website. Pretty nice, okay? And then in here, there's all this other data, but we don't really have to worry about that, okay? So we can keep going. We have body. The body tag defines the body of our website. So inside the body element, we're going to put all the content of our website. So we're going to put headings, we're going to put paragraphs, we're going to put pictures, lists, whatever we want. So the big bulk of our website is going to be inside body right here, okay? It's going to be inside body, everything we code. And then inside of body, if we look at our file here, so I click on body, we'll see body starts here to ends here. And then we'll see header, okay? Header. This is where we're going to put our header, okay? So we're going to put that navigation bar. Do you remember when I showed you guys the picture of what our website's going to look like? We had that bar at the top that said home, it said items, it said about us. That's what we're going to put inside the header, okay? And then if we go back, we can see there's main, okay? So inside of this tag, we're going to put some code in here that's going to be the big bulk of our website, okay? That's going to be all the other content of our website, okay? So let's keep going with it. So let's first do the header code. So we're going to code that line we saw at the top. Okay, so let's go over a couple tags so we know what to do, okay? So there's one tag that's really important, and that's our nav tag, okay? So this tag says, okay, whatever you put inside of it there's going to be some links, okay? And these links are what we're going to use to be able to click on our different pages, okay, to make a multi-page website, okay? And then there are some other tags. There's UL. This tag is an unordered list, okay? An unordered list is just bullet point list. And then we have OL. It's an ordered list. So that's a list that goes 1, 2, 3, 4 with numbers, okay? And then we have LI. So this is a list item, okay? A list item. So we use it inside of these two tags here, of the UL and the OL tag, okay? And then we have the A tag. It defines a link to get us from one page to another. So let's look at what the code's gonna look like. Before you guys start typing, let's look at it. So we know we're coding out the header, right? We're coding the header, okay? So inside the header, we wanna have a navigation bar, right? We wanna have a navigation bar. So we're first gonna add our nav tag, okay? We have to open it, we have to close it inside the header. So let's go do that. Oops. Okay, so inside header here, inside header, you guys find where it says header, okay? And this one opens up the header tag, and this one closes the header tag. You know that it closes the tag when there's this slash arrow in front of the word. That means that it's closing a tag, okay? So if we look at all these tags, we can see, okay, here's our head tag. The opening one just has one arrow here and another arrow here. The closing one has one arrow here, but a slash here. So that means it's closing all the information, right? It's like a book. So this one's opening it, this one's opening it, this one's closing it. So inside our header here, this one's opening it, and we know this one's closing it because of that line. So inside our header, I'm going to click the down button on my keyboard. I'm going to click the return button so I can get some lines here to do some code. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that nav. I'm going to make that nav element so I can open it and close it. So I click the arrow button on my keyboard. I type nav. I open it. And then it should automatically close it for you. It should make the opening and the closing. It'll fill it out for you. If it doesn't, then you just type it. You go nav, open, and let's just pretend. Ooh, I think it should automatically close on everyone's computer. Does it close on everyone's computer for you? Did it make an opening and a closing one for you automatically?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, that's what I thought. I didn't know if it was just I had like an extension or something. But yeah, so it makes an opening one and a closing one. So we write the code in between. So you find where the opening one is. So the opening one's that first arrow, the word, and then that closing arrow, right? And then you'll see that the second one starts here. So then we're going to space those out. We're going to put some space in between them, okay? So now if we look at our code, inside the header here, we have our nav. So this tells us, okay, inside here, we're going to put all the code for our navigation bar, okay? We're going to put all the code for our navigation bar. So what we're going to do for our navigation bar is we're going to make it a list, okay? Because there's like a bunch of items, right? So we're going to make it like a list. So if I go back a step, it says that an unordered list, because we don't want it to be numbered, is with this UL tag, okay? So let's do that. So inside of the nav bar now, inside of the nav bar, you're going to click that arrow, and then you're going to type UL, and then you're going to close it, okay? So then I'll space those out again. I'll fix my code here. Oops. And then in here, now we have some space to put our list items, okay? So we have our header. So inside here, we're putting all the code. We have our navigation. Inside here, we're putting all the code for our navigation. Inside here, we're putting all the stuff for our list, okay? So we're almost done. So now we have to add our list items. So our list items, we use that LI tag, okay? We use the LI tag, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an LI tag, LI. Nice, okay? So let's keep going and let's look at the code. So we can see in here, we put our LI tag, and then in here we put text, okay? Yep, do we have a question?
Sorry, where's the LI supposed to be?
Inside the UL. So the UL says, okay, we're going to have an unordered list here. And then LI stands for a list item. So inside our first list item, we're going to write the word home, okay? We're going to write the word home, okay? So once you guys have that inside LI, you have home. If you right-click on where it's index.html, so you right-click on this file, and if you click open with live server, then what will happen is it's opening it up. 1 second. It says it started a port. That's what we want to see. Oh, it's opening it up for me. Once it loads, look at that. We'll see the first item there, home, okay? And this is on a website it opened up. This is a browser on my computer. Yeah, Coin, do you have a question?
Can I see the rest of the code? And isn't there another way to do it? Like just go on your files and just press open with Google?
So we're going to be following along this way. But yeah, with coding, there's lots of ways to do things. But just please follow along. Okay, Crunchy Cat, what's your question?
So my UL isn't going inside my navigation.
So what you do is inside navigation, you find where the opening one is, right? And then you click enter, and you should have some room to type there. And then you type UL. So it should definitely be able to go inside there. So you try that out. And if your code's not working, I'll give you guys the code after, and you can just download it. And we have another question from Leal.
So I have all my codes written down, and now what do I do?
I said you click on the index.html file, you right click, and you click open with live server.
Okay.
And it opens it up. Mustafa, do you have a question?
For me, it doesn't show open with live server.
Did you right click on the index.html file?
Yeah, it shows open to the side, open with ... reveal in Finder.
Click open with. Click open with. ...
Okay.
And then do you see something there that says Chrome or Safari or live server?
No.
What do you see?
Text editor and configure default editor for .html.
Okay, well then just keep coding, because then on your computer, what you can also do is you can find where the file is on your computer. So here I have my file, and then I opened it up. Where is it? It's called Ella_bakery. When you open up the file on your computer, you can right click on it and then open with like Google Chrome. And so you're going to want to open up the folder on your computer, guys. If you don't see open with a live server, you open up the folder on your computer, and then you right click on the index.html file, and you click open with Google Chrome, and then it opens up for you. Okay?
Okay.
So, Gath, what's your question?
Can I just share a screen to show you?
Do you want to tell me first quickly?
I don't know how to tell you.
What is it? What does it say?
It's like
Pardon?
I didn't get onto like HTML.
You didn't get onto HTML?
No, I didn't get it on. I don't know how did you get it on.
What do you mean? How did I get it on?
Like I can't.
I'll take him in a breakout room. Like
Okay.
I'll take you to a breakout room. Okay.
Coin, what's your question?
To join, please.
Coin, what's your
When I
question?
press home, like it doesn't show what you did. It just like doesn't work.
Okay, if you're having some issues, what you can do is just follow along. And at the end, I'm going to share the code. So if you guys probably have maybe some errors in your code, at the end, you should be able to just run my
I have a
code.
question, like when you made like a new tab, like on like after you press like enter, like it doesn't like.
Archie, so I'll take you in a breakout room. So Archie and Guy, you will be in a breakout room with me. You can go ahead, continue, Ila.
Leah, what's your question?
I don't have a HTML slide.
Okay, so if you guys are having some issues, what you're gonna do is you're just gonna keep follow along and continue coding. And then at the end, I'll share a folder and you guys will be able to download it. So if yours has errors, you can just run mine, okay? So what you guys can do is you can just keep on listening because I already went over how to make all the files in the folders. So we won't have time to go over that again, unfortunately.
Okay.
So we're just gonna keep going.
So I put Archie, Gaith, Layal in a breakout room. Now we will receive a message to join. Please join and I will help you out. And you can continue, Ila.
Okay, so let's keep going, guys. So we made our first list item and we said home because that's the text that's going to be in it. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple more list items, okay? So let's keep going. I'm going to click the down button. I'm going to click LI. I'm going to close it. And then inside of there, I'm going to write items, okay? I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to write LI. I'm going to close it. And in between there, I'm going to write, what's the next one? I think it's R history. Or maybe it was store history, something like that. Store history, okay? And then on the next line, I'm going to do another LI. And then in there, I'm going to write contact us, okay? What is, okay. Yeah, you guys are still in this room. Okay, so there we go. Do you guys have this? Once you do, you should be able to open up the folder in your Explorer or wherever you open up your folders. Go to the downloads, or I keep mine in my name. And then what you do is you right click and you click where it says you open it up. And then on the index.html file, you right click and then you go open with Google Chrome. And then it should open that up for you. And then I'll see here on the site here, I see it. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add some links. Okay. We're going to add some links. Okay. So the way we do that is we can look at it right here. So we're first going to start off is we're going to create an A tag. Okay. We're going to create an A tag. Okay. So when we create that A tag, we're going to just do it how we normally do it. Okay. Except for one thing. One thing that we want to do is we want to put this text inside the A tag actually. So we're going to put the text inside the A tag. That way it knows that this text is going to be a part of that link. Okay. So we're going to keep going with our A tags. Okay. And I'm going to keep putting the text inside the A tags. Here we go. Okay, and I'm going to put the text inside the A tags. Okay. So you guys should have your LI tags. And then inside your A tags, you should have the text. Okay. And if we look at our code here, we have to do something else here. We have to do something else. Okay. So we have to do an href, okay? What's an href, okay? So this is how we're letting the computer know what the actual link is going to be, okay? In these links here, these links, they're just gonna be the names of other files, okay? So I'll show you guys how we do that. So when we add this code, we're gonna wanna make sure that it's inside of the first opening A tag, okay? So before we have that closing part here, we just have the opening part, right? We're just in the opening part. We're gonna add some space in here. We're gonna do a space in there, okay? And then we're gonna write href, okay? And then in here, it does quotes automatically, right? And we're gonna call it items.html, okay? So basically what this means is that if I had a file here, called items, so if I make a file called items.html, let's just say, I'm not gonna put any code in here, but let's just say I had a file called items.html. So when I click on my website on this items link right here, it'll take me to the items.html page, okay? So that's how it works. So we're gonna do the same thing for store history and contact us. So inside of that first A tag there, I'm gonna go href equals, and then in here, I'm gonna write store history.html, okay? Store history.html, or I'll just call it history.html actually. And then inside this contact us one, inside this first A tag here, we're gonna write href equals contact.html. So the reason we're doing this is because if you guys want to make a multi-page site, what you do is inside these links here, you just put the names of the other files that you're gonna wanna open. Okay, so like for example, on my site, if I click the word items, now what'll happen is it'll take me to this items.html page. We don't have any code in here, so it'll take you to nothing. But if we were to add code to it, it would take you to that page. So that's how we create multiple pages, okay? So here we go. We have this, and this is how it goes. So I'm gonna put this code in the chat so that if you guys are having trouble, you can just copy and paste my code. So I'm copying the whole code and I'm putting the whole code in the chat. So what you can do is you can just copy that code and put the whole code in the chat. I actually don't know if it copied the whole thing. I might put it in the chat again. Oh, don't copy that code. I'm gonna put it in the chat one more time. I think it didn't put everything in. I don't think I am able to paste everything in the chat. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to paste in the chat this body part here. I'm just going to, or actually I'm going to paste, yeah, this body part right here. Or no, I'll just paste the header part. So you guys can copy out your header part because you should already have the other part in the chat. So I'll put that in the chat. I put it in the chat. I said, copy this. So what you can do is you can replace your part with my part of the code if you haven't done it yet. Okay, let's keep going. So we should have all this. Oh, let's actually test it out. Let's see how it runs. So I can open up my files on my computer. I'll open up the folder. And then I'll right click on this HTML index.html site and I'll go open with Google Chrome. And would you look at that? Oops, where did it go? And would you look at that? Right here. Do you guys see it? So when I click on these are links. It took me to this items.html file, but we didn't put any code in here, so it's just a white page. These ones, we didn't make files for. We didn't make a file called store or store history.html, and we didn't create a file called contact.html, remember? But remember, guys, I made a file called items.html, so it took me here to that page if we had one, okay? And that's because I made a file called items.html, but I didn't put any code in it. Yeah, Mustafa?
Are we supposed to make a file called items.html?
No, but that's just me showing you how to do it. So if after class you want to create more pages, that's how you do it, okay? So we're going to keep going. Okay, so Crunchy Cat, you have a question?
So for my index, when I go to my folder or file or whatever. I'm not sure what it's called. My index, it says it's a Chrome HTML document.
It should just be a .html file, so you should be able to right-click on it and click
Yeah,
Open
but
with
for me,
Chrome.
mine's is a Chrome. So whenever I do open with Chrome, it's just a blank white page.
So that's probably because you don't have any code in it if it's just a blank white page. So you may have written your code in the wrong spot. That's okay. Just keep following along, and at the end of class, I'll share my folder so that you guys can just use that. Okay?
Okay.
So let's keep going. So let's do the main code, okay? So the main code is how we're going to put that big chunk of our website, okay? So if we remember, we had a title, we had some headers, we had an image, okay? So we can go over the tags. So you'll see tags called H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6, okay? These are used to define headings, okay? So like titles. So H1 defines the most important heading, and H6 defines the least important heading. So if you had a big heading, that'd be H1. And then if you had a subheading, that'd be H2. If you had like a third heading, that'd be H3, and so on. And then inside P, we define a paragraph. So that's just some text, okay? And then inside IMG, that's where we put our image, okay? And inside IMG, we'll see things that's like SRE, so that's source. So that'll define the path of the image, and we'll see alt, which that just specifies the text that the image would represent, okay? So let's keep going. So if we look at this code, we're writing it inside the main, right? So let's go open up the code, and inside main here, this is where we're gonna put the main font, the main information. So we're going to make a tag called H1 because that's our main header one, okay? And inside H1, we're going to write your name. So I'm writing Ella's Bakery Shop. So we're writing the same stuff that we put on our Figma file, right? We're writing the same stuff we put on our Figma file, okay? So we can go back and look at our Figma design. Okay, we see we did this already. We made our header. Okay, we just now made the header one. Then we got some more text we have to put. So let's keep going. So if we look at the slides here, we'll see this P, okay? So the P is what we're gonna put to put any other text, okay? Because it's not headings. So let's do that. So I did H1 to put the title, and now let's put P. So I'll put P, and then I'll write my sentence. So I'll write, this is a website about Ella's Bakery Shop. Okay, pretty sweet, pretty sweet. And I can look at my Figma and say, okay, what text do I want to put next? I said, okay, click on any link above to learn more about our shop. Pretty simple, pretty simple. Okay, so I'll go P, and then in there I'll write click on any link above to learn more about our shop. Okay, so I'll copy this in the chat if you need this. This is the main code right here. Okay, so then we can try running our code again. We can see how it looks. So I can open up the files on my computer. I'll go here into my folder, bakery website. I'll right click on the index.html file and I'll open it up in Google Chrome. And we can see what it looks like. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Looks pretty nice to me. So far we have all that we've coded for our website. There's no color on it. There's no pretty design yet because we haven't added our CSS code, okay? The CSS is what adds those pretty styles and everything, okay? So let's keep going with that then. Let's keep going. So we have our title and then we have our 2 lines of text, okay? I put it in the chat, so if you guys need it, you can just copy it, okay? So let's see what else we have to do. Next, we add our image. Okay, we add our image. So let's go do that. So we do it how we normally do it. We do our arrow, IMG, and then we close our arrow. Didn't automatically close it for me. That's a-okay. We can just make a closing one for it. What? Oh, it's because what is happening? I don't know what's happening right now. Let me try this again. Okay, let's create our image. So I'm just going to go IMG. I'm going to close it. And then I'm going to make a closing one. Why does it keep doing this to me? Okay, silly me. I made a mistake. It's because with our image one, we're going to close it a different way. The way we're going to close our image one is we don't have to create an opening and a closing one for our image one. We just create one closing one like this. Okay? So what we do is it opens at the beginning, right? With this opening one. And then we close it with this backward slash, or the forward slash, sorry. And then our closing arrow, like how we've been closing the other ones, except for this time we all do it in one. Does that make sense? I'll copy that in the chat in case you guys are confused about how I got that there. So that's just what it looks like. We don't have to create two separate ones, two separate tags like we did for all the other ones. We just have to create one. My silly mistake. That's why it wasn't working. Okay, so what we're going to do in this is we're going to put two things. We're going to put the source. So inside, right after where it says IMG, you do a space. And then inside there you go, source equals. And then in quotations, you put inside what the source is going to be. So the source of this picture is going to be the bakery picture, right? So we have to write the name of the bakery picture. So we're going to write bakery.jpg like this, okay? That's all we have to do. And then we give it alt text too. So alt text is basically text describing the picture, okay? So if the picture can't appear for some reason, this text will appear. So I just put bakery as my alt text before. And I'm also going to give it a width. That's going to be how big the picture is, okay? So I'm going to put alt, and then inside here, I'll write bakery picture. That describes the picture. And then in here, I'll go width equals 200 px. So that's 200 pixels. And we have to put this in quotations too, I believe. Yeah, Leo?
I'm back. Can I have the code in the chat?
Yep, I'll put it in the chat for you. So I don't think I can copy all the code, so I'm going to copy everything that you put inside body. So I'm going to copy the the header and the main. So do you see where you have header and main inside your code? You just delete that and put in mine. Okay. I actually don't even think that copied all of it. So actually, I'll put it in two separate. Yeah, so don't copy what I just put in the chat. It didn't copy everything. I'll put the header and the main separately. So just give me a sec. So this is for everyone. I'll just say copy this. So the first thing I'm about to put in the chat now, that's the header. Okay. And then the second thing I'm going to put in the chat is the main.
So what do I delete and what do I?
So delete where it says header and main. You can delete those tags. And then I put the code that you just put inside body. Like, do you see how mine looks?
So I delete header and main, and then instead of that, I paste it into it.
Put my code. Yeah, I put two separate blocks of code. Put everything that's under, actually you can just copy it on one. Put everything that's under copy this. Don't copy anything above. Do you see in the chat?
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Ms. Thatcher, do you have a question?
Never mind.
Okay. Okay, so we should be good now to see our picture on the site. So I'm going to open up my Finder again, and then I'll right click on index.html and I'll click open with Chrome. Yay! So I'll see my pretty picture on the website. Pretty nice. It still looks kind of funny because we didn't add our CSS code, but it's okay because we'll get to that point. So what we have to do now is we have to add our list at the bottom with our favorite items, right? Or the top selling items. So if we look at this, we have another P, so like another paragraph text. So it says our top selling items. And then underneath we have a list. So OL stands for ordered list, okay? We're doing ordered list because on our Figma site, we put a list with 1, 2, 3, right? We didn't put bullet points. We wanted it in order. So then by putting OL, everything that we put inside these items will be in a numbered list, okay? So let's go do that. So underneath this line here, the IMG line, the image line, we are going to do another paragraph tag. In this paragraph tag, it's going to say our top selling items, okay? Our top selling items. And then underneath, we're going to have our ordered list. So we just did P, our top selling items. Underneath, we're going to do an ordered list. So I'm going to write that opening, and then I'm going to write OL. So that's ordered list, and then I'll add some spaces, okay? So we add list items just like we did above here, just like we did above. Do you see how above we have inside our unordered list, we have LI, and then in here we have the text? That's what we do down here. So we do LI, and then we do whatever text we want to put in here. So our first item was, I think it was oatmeal cookies. Okay, so we're going to keep going. I think our second item was apple pie. Okay. Our third item, I think, was chocolate cake. Okay. So if I run this now, open with Chrome. Wow, would you look at that? Look at my nice website. I can like copy, or this would be good. Do you guys see how my website's looking? Pretty good, pretty good. So again, I'll put the HTML code that we just did in the chat. So I'll put everything inside main that you guys need. So if you want to copy this, just delete everything you have in your main, and then like even delete the main tag, and then just copy mine in. So I'll say copy this for main. Okay, so I put the main code in the chat. So once you have this, you should have this when you run it. Pretty nice. So we're almost done. We just have to add the CSS code to make it look pretty. So I'll give you guys a minute to copy that. Okay, so everything's in the chat, so you guys should be able to just copy that in if you need it. Okay, so I'm going to close this, and let's get going. Let's get going with our CSS because we are done our HTML. Okay, so CSS, this is the styling time. So what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascade Styling Sheets. It's a style sheet language used for describing the presentation of a document written in HTML. So basically that just means is we're going to use CSS to make the HTML look pretty, right? We want to add some color, we want to add some fonts, some cool features. We're going to do that all with CSS. So let's show you how to do that. So CSS code's really simple. It's really easy, and I'll show you how to do it. So what you do is we're going to open back up our Visual Studio Code. Let me get that open. Okay, we're going to open back up our Visual Studio Code, and we're going to go into styles.css, okay? So what I want to do is I want to make the body of the document change. So the body of the document, that's going to be the entirety of the background, right? It's going to be everything in our document. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write the word body. So that's going to let our code know that, okay, I want this to apply to everything. Okay, I want this to apply to the entirety of our website. Okay, and then I'm going to do curly brackets. So I'll do an opening curly bracket and a closing one. It does it automatically for me. And then I'll open that up. Okay, so then inside here, what we're going to do is we're going to write some CSS code. Okay, so we want to change the background color. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write background color. Oops. Background dash. Yeah.
Yeah, when the time is suitable for you, just if you put the link for the code for index.html for Archie, that will be really appreciated.
Oh yeah, I'll put that in the chat now. Okay, so one sec, guys. I'm going to put this in the chat. I will put it in the chat so you don't have to download it. I'll just put it so you can copy it in the chat in chunks. Copy this. One sec, guys. I'm just putting some code in the chat. So Archie, you can just, you probably, I don't know if you have the template or not. So I'll just copy everything in parts. Just wait until
He
I'm
has
done.
nothing.
Okay, yeah, I'll put everything. I'm just copying it in chunks. Okay. So Archie, you can just copy everything I put in the chat that's under copy this, like in that new message I just put.
Thank
Okay?
you very much, Ila.
No problem. Okay, guys, so we're just looking at our CSS code right here. So what we were doing is we're adding a background color. So I made this title here called body. So that's what's gonna happen is everything inside here, it's gonna apply to everything on the website. Okay, so I wrote the word background color. So what this does is it allows us to put our background color. So what you guys can do is if you have your Figma open, what you can do right here is on your frame here, there should be this fill color right here. And you can actually just copy it right here. So if you see where I'm pointing, so I clicked on my frame here, I clicked on the fill, and then I can just copy, oops, I clicked paste by accident. Copy, I can just copy it. And then inside my CSS, I can just copy it like this. And that should work. We might have to put quotes around this. I forget. Actually, I don't think we need quotes. Let's test it out. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I'll see if I can run that and if it changed the background color. Open with Google Chrome.
I think you need the hashtag before the hexadecimal number. It looks like Ila left the meeting. She will be back. But if you want to try fix it, try to add hashtag before the color.
Oh,
Yes, Ila, we can hear you. No, we cannot hear you. I cannot.
hello.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I accidentally closed the tab. Okay, so we actually don't have much time left. So what we're going to do is I am just going to copy the code into the chat, the CSS code, and then I'll explain what it does, and then you guys will have a nice layout too. So let me get that out for you guys. Okay, I see some people have some questions. Layal, do you want to ask your question first?
So all I have for that styles CSS slide is that folder, is number 1 body and then background color. I don't have those number thing.
Yeah, so what you guys can do is I just put a link in the chat with all the code, okay? So there's the code for, I'll open it up on my end so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, so in this link, this is the code from this whole project. It's the code from this whole project. So it has this template.html file. So if you use this template file, what you can do is you can use it to make new files. It's just a base. Once they load up, I'll show you what them. This is just the base for HTML files. We have our styles.css file, which what you can do right now is you can copy all of it. You can copy all of it if it lets me copy it. Copy. That should work. Okay. And then you can paste it. You can paste it inside your styles.css file. Okay. And if I go back, you'll see the index.html file. You can copy it if your code is a little behind mine, and you can paste it inside your index.html file. Okay. And then what you can do is now you can try running it. So I'll go open with Google Chrome. And look at my beautiful website. Yay. Super nice. Just like we wanted. Great. And you guys will all be able to do this too. Yeah, Leo?
Wait, how do you open it?
Open what?
The website.
The website. So the same way that we've been opening our projects is we open up our folder on our computer. So I go under my name, or you go under downloads, wherever you made your folder. You open up the folder, and then you right click on that index.html file, and you go open with Google Chrome.
Okay.
And then it opens it up.
Or Layal, you
Like
can just
this.
go to the Google Chrome and refresh your page. I showed you that in the breakout room. Just refresh the page,
Okay.
and it should everything should come.
Thank you.
So if you guys look at this CSS code, we didn't get to go over it much. Basically, all it is it just the styling. So if you read through it, it kind of makes a lot of sense. So this is background color, okay? And then there's light blue, makes perfect sense. Color, this is our font color, purple. Then here, we know that nav stands for our navigation bar, and UL stands for our unordered list. So then this is all the code for that, for how we want it to look. We have the background color, the border color, all the fun design stuff. And then same thing here. And this is H1. If you guys remember, our H1 tag was our title. So in here we have the color and we have the font. And then in our image here, we have border radius, okay? So that's how we got those rounded edges, those pretty rounded edges, okay? So if you guys want to learn more, because today it was super fast, you guys want to actually go to a class, what you can do is I'm going to put another link in the chat, not this one. So on our website, we have classes that are going to be happening in the spring. We have in-person ones, and we also have, I'll put that link in the chat. We have in-person ones and we have online ones. So you can go here and then you can click, if you want a virtual class, you can click go virtual. And then if you guys are in the age group, because I think we have quite a different age group in this one. If you guys are 7 to 11, you can look at these ones. If you guys are 12 to 17, you can look at these ones. So I'll put this link in the chat too. Okay, so you can show them to your parents. And if you guys like design and stuff, I know under the kids one, we have an app inventor class happening. For 11 plus, we have Java animation. So if you guys like design, we also do have this creating an app one. So we have a lot of options if you just check them out on our website. That's all for this workshop. All the code is posted on the Google link. I'll put that in the chat again so you guys can copy that. And you guys are free to go. Thanks for coming to the workshop.
I have a question.
Yep.
How do I make the website like all other people can see?
So that's not actually a part of this workshop. That's a whole nother thing, and that's way more difficult. So for now, we are just hosting the websites on our own computer.
So like other people can see it?
No, unfortunately.
Okay.
That is a step to come later for you guys. It is much more difficult to figure out how to do that.
Is there a program over here about it?
Unfortunately,
If you want, Ella, you can try GitHub. I will put the name, Google it, how to host a website with GitHub. It might
Okay.
help you. Okay?
Okay. Okay. So I leave bye.
bye. Oh, we have some questions. You guys can ask them really quick. Crunchy Cat, go. Question.
So my index is still a Chrome HTML document. Is there a way to change it to just HTML?
So if you actually just go on that Google Drive link and you download all those files that I put in the chat, and then you put those in a folder, that will work perfectly fine. So just do that, because you might have just got your files messed up or something. So that should work, because we should have the same code since we were all following along. Okay, thanks for coming. Okay, you can ask us.
Bye.
Bye. Do you want to ask your question?
Sumaya, go ahead.
So I was wondering, like, with these websites, can you like make video games and stuff? Like,
Eventually, if you're interested in making video games, I would suggest
Something
we
like
have-
Coding Playground, I think,
Yeah.
will be. We have Coding Playground.
Mhm.
It depends on your age. How old are you, Sumaya?
I'm turning 10 this year.
Turning 10. So, and interactive JavaScript also will be good. We do create some games and animations with that, with coding. Yeah. So I'll be emailing your parents, Sumaya. Okay? Bye.
Bye.
Guys, can you ask your question?
Yeah, my website, like it works, but when I refresh it, there's like no CSS. Like there is the CSS code, but like
Save, it means you didn't save the CSS. Go back and make sure you saved it, then refresh your website. It should work.
okay.
Okay? Bye-bye. Okay, Ella, just give me a minute. I want to stop streaming.